at Penn now I'm in my third year, but I matriculated back in 2020. My sister is approaching the age where she is thinking about college and everything. She's 16, and I was 16 when I applied to Penn. So I've been thinking about things like, what I wish I knew before I came to Penn, and now I'm making this video. And I have a couple things here on my lap to talk about. So the first thing I think I wish I knew, I'm gonna start talking about the academics first, was that it's okay to like change your major and not exactly know what you want your major to be. I'm lucky that at Penn, when you apply, you're not bound to that major. Like you're actually undeclared for the first 2 years. You don't like actually declare your major until the end of your second year. And I think there was a lot of pressure when I first came on to like know exactly like what my 10-year plan at 16 was. No, that plan changed more than a few times, because initially I came in as a bio major. I am still a bio major, but I'm computational biology with the hopes of like doing data science or data analytics right after university instead of a general biology major. So it's like totally fine. I think like at Penn, there's a lot of chances for like career exploration or like major exploration, because they know that like, yeah, we don't expect you to know 100% what you want to do. So that's the first thing I wish I knew, that it's okay to not know your major. This is more specific to if you're a gifted person or you're like in high school, you didn't really need to study to like get good grades. Yeah, no, especially if you come to a school to Penn, I suggest you fix that. I suggest you fix up over there, because one thing that worried me, and it's still getting to me now, is that like I don't really be knowing how to study like that still, because it's not innate to me. I went through high school like without needing to study, and it was cool at the time. It's not cool no more, because now I'm like, what's studying? Now I actually have to like do practice problems before, like no. So I highly suggest, especially if you're in a gifted program, to learn how to study before you enter university. The third thing, I think, especially if you came from like a high school that's like not the best, like I came from a really bad public high school, is that you'll probably feel imposter syndrome in your classes, and that's okay. However, don't let that imposter syndrome stop you from taking the space that you deserve. This is what I mean. When I was 17 in my first intro biology class, I was like really nervous, because I'm like, oh, all these people took AP Bio, girl, I don't even know what AP Bio is. And I'm like, guy, I'm gonna fail this class. Newsflash, I didn't like fail the class. I actually did well in the class. I beat the curve in that class. But like the imposter syndrome made it so hard for me to actually like want to go to class, cause I was so nervous, the anxiety, no. And because of the imposter syndrome too, like I didn't feel like I could take up space when it came to like, you know, going to office hours or asking questions or doing like research positions. Oh, I'm not good enough. So that's what I'm like on about. The professors are not out to get you. Okay, I'm gonna say that there's some bad professors, right? But not all professors are bad. And I had that like impression before I like came to university that, oh, all professors, they don't care, da da da. It's not true. Like for example, I'm taking, like this is just an elective, I'm taking philosophy of education. I love that, man. I love my professor. And it's sometimes so fun too to go, like I went to his office hours and we were talking about stuff that wasn't really related to the material, but it was related to the material, but not exactly to the material. We're talking about the role that higher ed plays for people from low-income communities. Yeah, no. And he even recommended me a book. Like I just love having conversations with professors. Like, yeah, they're people. We're not thinking about the fact that you are determining my grade right now. So that's like the end for the general academic stuff. And there's more so if you're international. I don't know how it is at other schools, but you should be aware of how many CUs you have to take to be in status, right? If you're on a student visa, because if you drop below that without telling your advisor, you could risk deportation, and that's kind of not a slay. However, with that being said, you should talk to your international advisor, because under certain circumstances, you are allowed to drop below your mandated number of credits and still be in status, right? That really came in clutch for me more than a few times. But it's just being aware of that kind of thing. So that's what it is for international. So the next part is like more so, how do I say? People, interacting with people, friendships, social is the word, yikes. So not everyone is your friend, and some of these friendships don't last, and again, that's okay. The majority of people I was friends with freshman year, I'm not friends with them anymore, and that's fine, because freshman year, everyone's so open to everybody. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm down with this, I'm down with that. But then when the dust settles, then you really know who your friends are, and don't feel no type of way. Well, you can feel some type of way about it, but don't let it affect how you think about yourself. That's what I mean, right? Because you know, you're not supposed to fit everywhere, and that's okay. That's totally okay. And then if you like end up see you're cool with these people and then you lose friendship, that's fine too, because that's just life. I think that like I lost the majority of my friendships like when I left, when I took my leave, and that really did like mess with me for a while. But now I'm at a point where, guy, it is what it is. Life happens, right? And that's okay. Next thing, don't room with your like, honestly, don't room with your friends if you've never like argued, right? Because the reason why I say like if you've never argued is because like through argument and you're still friends, bro, there's obviously been a way you guys have figured out conflict resolution that works within your relationship, right? I made the mistake of rooming with people that used to be my friends, but we never argued. And then like obviously when you're living with somebody, like definitely things are gonna come up, but there's no way to like for us to figure it out, right? Without it becoming like a whole like argument and then we like fell out. I believe that's like part of why our whole like friendship fell out, because we could not figure that whole thing out. So I don't suggest that. Like my sister, I wouldn't live with someone like my sister, but I would live with my sister because I can fight with her and we'll still be friends because we figured that one out. So that's the next thing. If you never fought with your friends, don't room with them. Actually, you don't have to go out every weekend. I like used to go out every weekend my freshman year because why did I do? Because all classes were online
and I
had a lot of time. Don't do that. Like I got away with it because yes, classes were online and everything was asynchronous, but I don't suggest it. Like literally I would not do that now because I'm like, I have like problem sets to do middle of the week. I have essays due, like where are you going, bro? And after it gets like boring because the same people, the same stuff. Is like, girl, just stay in your house and like binge watch something. Oh my, like I keep being in your house, like what are you running from?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
The next thing is to be willing to break out of your circle and try new things. This is like something I really implemented. What is it? Once I came back from my leave, I think I became so aware of how little time I have at Penn that I'm like, okay, I'm not doing what I like want to do because I feel really tied down to track. And when I like got my injury, low-key was a blessing in disguise because I got to try like new things on campus. I got to volunteer a lot more in the area, which was nice. And my acapella group, right? I would not really be able to dedicate as much time to acapella if I were doing track right now. And I've met a lot of cool people that I honestly would not have met had I not broken out of my circle and tried new things. I'm working at like this elementary school now, which is great, right? Again, because I'm not doing track, but there's so many things that I've been able to join now that I'm not doing track that have really opened my perspective, and I've been able to meet so many cool people, and I would highly suggest that you do that too. This is more so with like mental health. That's what I'm gonna go into now. So number one, you will be homesick, and that is normal. I think that like even if you come, let me not generalize, bro, but myself included, you know, you don't come from the best backgrounds, but sometimes you're like, I just want to go home because like, especially at school like this, I feel so much like out of place. Sometimes I'm like, guy, we just want to go home. I just want to go home. But how I dealt with that is I thought like, what am I missing about home? Is there a way for me to recreate it here? Obviously, I can't recreate my sister in Philadelphia, but there are aspects and quality of that my sister possesses that I try and I don't know, make here in America for myself that have made it a bit more manageable for me being in America. And I think too that I try and look at the positives of me, you know, being away from home. I used to feel guilty about being away from home, like, oh, like there's so many things I was doing with my family that I'm not like there to do no more, But I had to think like, bro, I'm doing this one for myself, and it's a net positive for my family. Like, if I get a degree from Penn, fix up, like that's great for everybody involved. This is going to be a huge disclaimer. Go to therapy. Even if you struggled in any type of way mentally in high school, I suggest you go to therapy. Like I suggest you make your intake appointment or the initial appointment before you even step on campus. So you don't gotta deal with none of those wait times. And even if you're like, yeah, I'm fine, like I don't really need it like that. Girl, like I'm not gonna lie to you, college is a whole different ball game. I would suggest you go to therapy, or at least have like a support group, right? For me, church has been really good, and along with therapy with my support group. But I believe that part of the reason why I took my leave because I didn't feel like I didn't really have a support group. I couldn't talk about the stuff I was really going through like that. And I feel like, oh, I'm gonna lose my friends, or like no one wants to talk to me. It was a mess and a half, bro. So I suggest you like go to therapy. I think like the third thing to like wrap up this like self-care, mental health aspect, is school is not everything, right? Bro, it don't matter if you got a 4.0, by the end of it, you don't want to be alive anymore. It's like literally not worth it. That's one thing I learned on my leave, that like you're pushing for what? For what? Obviously, I'm not telling you to like risk academic probation, but if the difference between you being happy and you like absolutely hating your time here is like, I don't know, like not having a perfect GPA, I suggest not having a perfect GPA, right?
I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first.
And plus, there's some benefits too to not having a perfect GPA, but having a lot of like, I don't know, having a lot of social experiences, right? I think the trade-off is much worth it. That's what I've learned for myself, that I no longer put that pressure on myself to get great grades, and they come anyways. But I'm more so focused on the process than the result, if that makes sense. But school's not everything. It's important, but it's not everything. Don't lose your life over it. So now these things are more Penn-specific. So I'm gonna be running off a couple things that if you're highly aided at Penn that I didn't know until like now I'm in my 3rd year. That's what I'm learning about it. So if you're highly aided international student, Penn will pay for 1 round trip ticket from America, well, Philadelphia, to your home country, which is the certified slay. If you're doing an underpaid or unpaid internship in the summer, the school will give you a maximum of like a couple $1,000s to like pay for your summer expenses. If you're in Philadelphia during the breaks, like I think like Christmas break and I think Thanksgiving break, they will give you like a stipend, which is honestly kind of slay. I can't remember any other things for highly aided. There's so many things for highly aided that I didn't know until I came here, but those are 3 I can remember right now. 2, there are always events on campus here that they're giving away free food, especially if you check your email, like career center, a college, even like random groups. There's like a group meeting, there's a whole group chat at Penn that people are like, oh, there's free food here, there's free food there. I believe that if you didn't want to go to like, if you didn't want to cook the whole week, you can just find an event on campus, because there's always food, there's always food. 3rd one, Philadelphia is a great city. I love Philadelphia. That's part of the reason why I did like commit here so soon after my official visit. I love the city. It's not as big as like Toronto, but I don't know. I love the city. I love the people. I live in West Philly right now, and honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world. So talking about West Philly, I suggest you step out of the Penn bubble. If you come to Penn, a lot of people are like, oh, like West Philly this, West Philly that. And to them, I say, be quiet, because it's not that bad. Really, you'll be missing out on a lot if you tell yourself that you're going to stay on, like you really could stay on campus through a whole 4 years. You really don't need to step out of the Penn bubble, but I suggest that for your own self-improvement, you explore. Start with Center City, then start heading out west and see how that treats you. And then this is my final one. I am a bit biased, but I suggest you get an e-scooter. The e-scooter is the reason for my accident. So I don't know, maybe I don't know what to say about that. But if you live off campus eventually, get an e-scooter. Why? It takes me 30 minutes to walk to class. I'm not walking 30 minutes to my bio class at 8:30 in the morning. That's not happening, bro. So that's my friend. She really like does it for me. And it's fun to do. I get motivated to go in the morning because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna ride my scooter. I say off campus though, because I don't think you're not allowed to bring them into the college houses, and then it'll be a bit of a hassle to like charge it, because now I'm thinking, I don't think you could charge it if you couldn't bring it in, because I actually don't think any of the Penn buildings like allow it now that I'm thinking about it. So if you live off campus, that's all I have to say. And thank you for listening. Au revoir, mes amis. Mwah.